Hey YouTube, this is Steven from Team OSI, doing a deck profile. I have a fun deck that I've been playing for about a month now. It is Empty Jar. So, we start with the main card, of course, Morphing Jar. The goal of the deck is pretty much to abuse Morphing Jar and use some Needleworms to make up the difference between the 40 card decks. So we want to make your opponent draw all their cards, send to the graveyard, and lose. So, with these three cards, Morphing Jar and Needleworm are really important. Morphing Jar is pretty much the deck, but the Needleworm, like I said, you need to get over the difference in cards. So you can't, I mean, if you Morphing Jar 8 times, then both of you lose, so you have to Needleworm at least once. Then we go to probably the most important card in the deck, besides Morphing Jar, is AD Changer. Remove it from play from your graveyard to change the battle position of one monster. So if you don't have a Book of Taiyu, but you have a set Morphing Jar, then you AD Changer and you can get your stuff going. As soon as you get your Morphing Jar going once, you should pretty much win. If you don't, then you have bad luck, or you made a mistake. Then we have the search cards, Sangan, obviously, and Deep Diver. When it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can place one monster from your deck to the top of your deck. So either search out the jars or the giant rats. Play two of those. If somebody attacks into it, you special summon your Morphing Jar, and then you chain Book to get it face down. Or whatever. Recycle a Night Assailant. When it's sent directly from your hand to the graveyard, add one flip effect monster from your grave to your hand. So you can, if your Morphing Jar goes on the graveyard and you don't have a shallow grave or something, then you can Night Assailant to get it back to your hand. And then one Spirit Reaper to stall, and because it's colder. That's it for monsters. Really low monster count. No traps at all. Now we get to the spells. We have 1 Book of Moon, 3 Book of Eclipse, 3 Book of Taiyu. Obvious. These are obvious. Because Book of Moon, everybody knows what it does. Flips one monster face on defense. Book of Taiyu does the opposite. And Book of Eclipse flips all monsters on the field and face on defense position. In the end phase, your opponent flips all monsters they control into face up defense and draws 1 card for each. So you can really screw somebody over. Like today somebody had a full field. Or yesterday somebody had a full field, you Book of Eclipse, if they have 4 cards left on their deck. In the end phase they have to draw 5 in this game. Then you have Card Destruction, which is also obvious. You play it in Morphing Jar just because you want your opponent to draw as many cards as possible. So if they have 5 cards in their hand, then you Card Destruction. 1 Day of Peace, which is retarded. Because it gives you a turn to stall, and it thins your opponent's deck out, and you get stuff that you need. For more draw power, you of course have Upstarts, 3 of those, 3 Hand Destruction, which I'm debating on taking 1 out, but right now the deck works like it is, but 3 Hand Destruction is pretty good. Double Dualities, just for the draw power, and a suggestion from our friendly neighborhood Puerto Rican, Dark World Duel Links, which was a really good idea. Helps with the consistency a lot, because you can Dealings and send an AD Changer to grave. An AD Changer in the grave is godlike. So if I would take a Hand Destruction out, I'd probably play another Dealings, but for right now it's working pretty good. Then, in case your jar or something gets in the graveyard, you have the Shallow Grave to special summon it. Both players have to special summon a monster into face down defense. So you get your jar back and do your shenanigans. More Recycle. Recycling for recycling your spells or something. Magical Stone Excavation. You can discard the AD Changer to get like a book of Eclipse back to your hand, or something, anything that you need really. 1 Foolish to get AD Changer in the grave, and 1 Burial from a different dimension to recycle your AD Changers. And if somebody trishes your Morphing Jar, you can get it back. So that's the main deck. There's no traps. It takes a lot of spells. I guess I can do the extra deck, but it's really kind of irrelevant. None of it really matters. Leviathan, Utopia, Black Rose, Stardust, and Scrap Dragon. Why do you have these? Well, because I saw Trap Eaters. And, I mean, never really use the extra deck, but it's just there, just in case. There's always those just in case situations. But you shouldn't need to. You should, as soon as you start with your Morphing Jar, you should win. Side deck, 3 Trap Eaters, because if you run into Skill Drain, you pretty much lose. 3 Smashing Grounds. I don't know why. This is really the only thing I'd ever side. You don't really mess around with your side deck that much because, I don't know. This side deck is kind of half-assed, so bear with me. Some Effect Veilers, just because it's Effect Veiler, I have no idea. Jujis, to get rid of problems. They think it's Morphing Jar attack into it. No, it's not. Debunks to stop if somebody's played Effect Veiler already, you can set a debunk and then fuck them. Crevice, don't know why. And a Penguin Soldier. I think the crevices are supposed to be MSTs. For some reason they're crevices. But there. That is the deck. It's a really fun deck. It can make people angry, as I found out yesterday. Played a guy. And I went first. And I won the first turn because I had Morphing Jar and Book of Tayo. It's pretty much game. And then he went... Well, the next game he obviously went first. He set some cards. I started with Morphing Jar, Foolish Burial. I'm like, well... I'm going to send an 80 changer, go off, and win. And then he was very upset with me. He didn't give me my handshake. He asked me to hurry my turn up. He's being a dick. He's like, could you hurry your turn up, please? I haven't got my turn yet, and it's kind of annoying. I'm like, well, in that case, you're going to be a dick about it. I will end my turn when this game is over. So, and then I won. So, don't be a dick. But this deck is really fun. If you're bored, build it.